Hey friends, welcome. My name is Jess. This is my channel, Jess Writes a Book. Welcome or welcome back if you've been around before. If you're new around here, then you may not know that I have been writing the first draft of my novel for quite some time now. It's been like a year and a half. I have spent all of October prepping and doing all of the things that we usually do in October or Preptober, finishing scene cards and like tightening up character arcs and that kind of thing, making sure that I have research done, all the things to prep for November. So usually November, or for most people I should say, November would be NaNoWriMo month, but this year a lot of people are not doing NaNoWriMo. I have a whole separate video on that, so I will link that down below. Today I'm going to share the 5 areas that I'm working on and what I'm doing within each of those areas in this final week of October to really make the most of October and be as ready for the rough draft challenge in November starting on Friday as I can. So let's dive right in. So first on my list I have writing. This is where all the magic happens, right? This is the most important part. We need to make sure that our outlines, if we are plotters, are ready, that we have research done, that we know our characters well, basically whatever you need to do to be sure that you are ready to start drafting in November. So I have spent the whole month of October prepping my writing, trying to get all of those little stepping stones in place so that I can sit down and write in November and reach my goal of 25k words. When I did Nano for this same story last year, I got pretty far into it and then I hit a wall about maybe 30% in, and I just didn't know where to go from there. And I spent the rest of November brainstorming and kind of mind mapping and figuring out where to go next. I had kind of all of the bigger beats figured out because I followed Save the Cat, but I didn't have any of those like interconnective scenes. I didn't know how to get from scene A to scene B, and I really that really threw me off my game and threw me off the forward momentum that I had in my writing, and I just, like I said, hit a wall and I just could not move forward. So this time I wanted to be really sure that I had as many scenes figured out as I could, the bigger plot point scenes, the smaller, like I said, connective scenes to get us from one big point to the next, and that I just really had a good roadmap of where I needed to go. So that is the biggest thing that I have been working on in October is my scenes. You will have seen in my writing vlogs and other videos that I've done this month, I have really been focusing on scene cards and having as much information on those scene cards as I can, and like I said, really having that direction and map of where to go. Now that I have finished that, I completed that goal for October, my kind of last little thing that I want to do for the month is figure out research, or I guess not figure out, but do research. My main character is a female detective in New York City, so I think there's a lot of kind of specifics that come with that. She might speak a certain way, she might use certain verbiage, she may have certain experiences and knowledge as a detective. She goes undercover, so I'm sure there's a whole process to that. So doing that kind of research. So I don't want to dig too deep into research right now because I feel like I will just go down the rabbit hole, and I don't want that distraction a week out from the rough draft challenge starting. So I'm gonna just kind of do surface level, get an idea, and in Dabble, the writing system that I'm using, which I'll talk about in a little bit, I have a whole separate file, a list of topics that I need to research, and I think I'm really going to just leave that kind of for the second draft. Right now I just want to write, get the words out, get the basic story out, and then I can go in the second draft and add in all of the research and make sure that it's clear that my main character knows what she's talking about and that I have done all of the research. So I'm kind of saving that for then. I have been kind of going through it and fine-tuning my scene cards as well. This for me means adding a little bit more information about characters and settings and the specific plot points and kind of the thread that tangles all of these different scenes and plot points together. Like I said, I really want to make sure that I have a solid foundation and roadmap before the challenge begins. I'm also, again, wrapping up any notes that I have, anything that pops into my mind now, but I don't want to fully kind of pay attention to right now that I want to just kind of put aside and leave for the second draft and editing, all that. I have a separate list of notes and a separate file for that to keep everything organized. So the second area that I'm focusing on this week is life prep. This has taken kind of a crazy turn. Life prep is something that Sarah Cannon from Her Breathings talks about a lot. It's like getting your house cleaned, meal prepping, buying any like snacks or drinks that you like to have on hand, setting up your writing space, making sure your family is like aware of what you're going to be doing, and to kind of give you your space a little bit in the month of November, and just making sure that all the outside areas of your life that don't have to do specifically with your writing are ready for this challenge, because it is a big challenge. It takes a lot of time, and it helps to have less things to do during the month, less decisions to make during the month. If I already have a meal plan set for the month, then that's less time I need to spend thinking about what we're going to eat, and more time I could get another writing sprint in during that time. But this, for me, has taken kind of a left turn that I did not see coming, because it turns out that we are going to be moving. We put our house up for sale in October, honestly not thinking that I was going to go anywhere. And last week, or just a few days ago actually, we found out that we got an offer on our house. And so we accepted the offer. We have found the house that we are going to be buying and moving into, and we have a 30-day turnaround. So of course, that 30 days is in November when I'm trying to do this challenge. So this is obviously not what I was expecting. So life planning for me this month is going to look a little bit different, or life prep, I should say, is going to look a little bit different than what I initially intended. So I'm going to be doing a whole separate vlog on our moving process and buying our new house and all of that. I did want to capture that in a vlog, but I'm going to do it separate, and I'll probably have little updates in my rough draft challenge vlogs, but for the most part that is going to be in that separate vlog. So for me, life prep now is going to be signing all the documents that need to be signed, getting through inspection and appraisal of our current house, packing, actually moving. Our closing date is the week of Thanksgiving, so right the last week of the rough draft challenge. So really, I need to try to get as much writing done in the beginning part of the rough draft challenge as early in the month as I can, so that the end of the month, when we're closing and really starting to move, I don't feel like I'm wasting time and missing out on time that I need to write. So the more words I can get in at the beginning of the month, the better. So again, this is going to be a lot of organization, throwing things out, donating things, figuring out what we want to sell, packing up all of these books. So life prep is definitely looking different than what I originally intended. But for you, like I said, this could be having a meal plan in place, buying any snacks you like, buying any writing materials. Going to look a little bit different than what I initially intended. So I'm going to be doing a whole separate vlog on our moving process and buying our new house and all of that. I did want to capture that in a vlog, but I'm going to do it separate, and I'll probably have little updates in my rough draft challenge vlogs, but for the most part that is going to be in that separate vlog. So for me, life prep now is going to be signing all the documents that need to be signed, getting through inspection and appraisal of our current house, packing, actually moving. Our closing date is the week of Thanksgiving, so right the last week of the rough draft challenge. So really, I need to try to get as much writing done in the beginning part of the rough draft challenge as early in the month as I can, so that the end of the month, when we're closing and really starting to move, I don't feel like I'm wasting time and missing out on time that I need to write. So the more words I can get in at the beginning of the month, the better. So again, this is going to be a lot of organization, throwing things out, donating things, figuring out what we want to sell, packing up all of these books. So life prep is definitely looking different than what I originally intended. But for you, like I said, this could be having a meal plan in place, buying any snacks you like, buying any writing material. People write their stories pen to paper. They don't use, computers and laptops and all those things. So if you need writing utensils or paper or your journal, whatever it is that you're using, make sure that you have those things on hand. One of the things I did do was I bought one of these little timers. Sarah has talked about these, and I've seen a lot of people use these. I think this will be really helpful. I use Pomodoro method often in my life for work and writing, and I think this will be perfect for just quick little writing sprints. So I did buy one of these. I need to get batteries for it, but I'm very excited to start using this. So I think the biggest takeaway for the life prep section is that organization is key. Doing as much as you can before. So like I said, the less decisions you have to make in November, the more time you're saving. Moving on, we have work prep. Obviously, if you're a full-time writer, then this might look different for you, but I unfortunately am not at this point. I do have a full-time job and a second part-time job. I actually have 2 jobs on top of my writing. So for me, this is getting as much work done in the month of October as I can, so that it's less that I need to focus on in November. For my full-time job, there's only so much of that I can do because I do work Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. I'm trying to get as many like end of the year tasks as I done as I can early, but for the most part, I just kind of have to work around my full-time work schedule. For my second job, I work as a virtual assistant. I have 4 clients. All of a variety of things that I do for them. Some of them is social media management, some of them is administrative tasks. So a lot of the admin tasks that I usually do like at the beginning of the month for my clients, I'm going to try to get done this week so that it's one less thing I have to worry about in November. So getting all social media pre-scheduled and posted and ready to go, like content creation all done this week for November, so that again I don't have to worry about it in November. I'm trying to get as many admin tasks done early as I can. I just started with a new client. I am editing and revising her book that she wrote. I did a post on that on Instagram, and I will tag my Instagram down below. In that case, I have already started reading her book, kind of doing the first pass through and seeing what my general like initial ideas and edits are, so that I at least have that started in October, and I will do as much of it as I can this week, like I said, just to clear up as much time in November as I can. I have Sarah in her Preptober planner, which I have been using, has a breakdown of how you figure out how many writing sprints, first of all, how many words you want to write each day in order to meet your goal, and then breaking that down to how many writing sprints it'll take each day to meet your goal. And for me, it's 3 writing sprints. 3 writing sprints a day should get me to my goal at the end of the month. I'm hoping to do more than that because again, I want to try to be ahead by the end of the month when we're moving. So the more stuff I can do this week and in October, the less stuff I have to focus on in November, the more time for writing sprints I'll have. So that is really my goal, is just getting as much done this week as I can. That has been huge for work prep and really life prep too, is getting a good routine established. Just kind of having good planning, organization. I always have my planner. You guys have seen that in my vlogs, but really making sure that I have a good plan set. So really just making sure that I have a plan set in place. I'm doing time blocking, which is something that I usually kind of do off and on, but I'm really trying to focus in on that. Again, using that Pomodoro method that has really worked for me, and just knowing what works best for me. The next area that I am focused on is health prep. I think I've mentioned since I switched over to Authortube content that I have diabetes. I have type 2 diabetes. This is a relatively new diagnosis. I was diagnosed in May. I'm on Ozempic, and I have been really trying to cut back on carbs and sugar and stuff. So that is something that is really important to me, is making sure that I have healthy snacks on hand so that I'm not just kind of grabbing whatever and not taking care of myself. The more sugar and carbs and the higher my sugar gets, the worse I feel, the less energy I have, and that really disrupts my writing. So making sure that I'm eating what I should be eating, that I'm sleeping. I'm trying really hard to get on a good sleep routine, going to sleep earlier. I usually wake up earlier for work, but it's a hard balance because the later you go to sleep, the earlier you wake up, the less sleep you get. So I'm really trying to find that balance of getting the right amount of sleep so that I'm not like crashing in the middle of the day. Getting exercise, staying hydrated, all those things are things that I have been working on this month so that I can keep those habits and routines going into November, because the better I feel, the more sleep I get, the more hydrated I am, the more energy I have, the more I'm gonna write, and the better I'm gonna feel, and the better those words are gonna be. So that is a huge one for me. And last but not least, we have prepping my writing area / my writing systems, prepping my writing tools. So my writing area, you can see behind me. I have my desk here, you can't see it. But that is basically already prepped again. But again, this is going to be changing throughout the month. I'm going to start taking these books down and packing them. These pictures are going to come down. I'm going to try to leave my desk for last as long as I can, so that I do have my writing area and where I usually write still set up. But everything around me, this cozy, comfy, environment that I have curated for myself, is going to be changing. So I know that is going to affect my motivation a little bit, because my surroundings really do motivate me and affect my mood and my focus. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I think as long as I can keep basically my desk area set the way it is, then it should be okay. I am also working on making sure that I have all of my different systems that I use set. So this is where I'm going to do a little bit of a screenshot and show you guys the different systems that I am using. First is Dabble. Dabble Writer is a writing system, kind of like Scrivener, another version of that. I have never used Scrivener, but I kept seeing ads for Dabble on Instagram and Pinterest, and it looked really user friendly, and I liked the way that you could break down the scenes. I'm a very visual person, and so having this view of the scenes spread out like this really helped. And I like that they're in little cards, so they're their own digital kind of index cards, which I really liked. I like that I can have the draft itself broken down up top. You can break it down in whatever way you like. I have it broken down by chapter and then into the specific scenes. This is probably going to end up getting rearranged and stuff in draft 2. I will focus more on format and chapter breakdowns and all of that. But right now I just have it broken down by scenes in a way that works for me. I really enjoyed using Dabble, so I will link them down below. The newest system that I have started using is Pacemaker. This is something that Kate Kavanaugh has talked about in her videos, and I decided to give it a try. I am really enjoying this. So basically what Pacemaker is, it's a system that allows you to take a big project like writing 50K words, and it basically breaks it down into smaller chunks, and then kind of tracks your progress. So for example, if you have 50K words and you say I have 20 days to write 50K words, it's going to take 50 and divide it into 20 and tell you how many words you need to write every day in order to reach that goal. And you can set it up so that it will track your progress. And let's say today I need to write 1,000 words, but I don't write any words today. It is going to shift the rest of the days, the rest of the month, to include those 1,000 words so that I can still meet my goal by my goal target date. One of the things that I really love the most about Pacemaker is that you can pick specific options that work best for you. You can pick what day of the week you want to start. You can pick if you want it to adjust with your progress. You can pick if you want it to divide all of the work evenly between the days, or it can start off lighter and get heavier, more intense as the month goes, or you can have it start off harder and get easier. I like that there's a randomizer. It will choose random amounts for each day. So for example, today I might need to write 1,000 words, but tomorrow I may only need to write 200 words. And it still breaks it down, even though it's random and it's not the same set amount every day. It still breaks it down so that I will still hit my goal by my goal date. I love that. I don't know if it's part of my ADHD or what it is, but I love things to be random. I don't like doing the same thing all the time at the same time. When I do my work, if I have a to-do list, I will use a random number generator to skip around that to-do list. I don't go from top to bottom. Something about that, just linear, like top to bottom, really bugs me. I like just randomizing it. It just makes it work better for me. It makes it, I guess, kind of more fun in my mind. Again, I don't know what that is, but I do that with literally everything. So the fact that they have a random option is absolutely perfect. The next system is Notion. Notion has been around for a while. I have been using Notion since I think 2018 or 19, maybe even earlier than that. I am absolutely obsessed with Notion. I have dashboards and kind of databases for previous years, some that I've now archived so you don't see them here, but I keep so much stuff in Notion, task lists and information on my clients, and I have calendars here for both social media and YouTube content. This is where I used to write. I used to use Notion as my writing system, and I still have some of my projects on here. I recently found a plotting template that I absolutely loved, and I have now created plotting template that used that same plotting template and duplicated it for every writing project that I have an idea for, so that I can go in and occasionally work on these if I want to jump in and just do like 5-10 minutes of plotting towards an idea that I have that I know that I'll write in the future. I can do that. Notion is literally like my lifeline. I use it for everything. I might do a whole separate video on Notion later on just to show the different templates that I have and the different ways that I use it. But if you've never used Notion, I highly, highly recommend that you check it out. I use it for everything, but it really can be tailored to be used for a writer. The next and last system that I have is Descript. If you are a content creator, if you are a YouTuber, no matter the kind of content you make, if you create videos, even if you only do like Instagram Reels or TikTok, if you're any kind of content creator, Descript is a huge advantage and just such a good system to use, especially if you are a YouTube content creator. Amy from Amy TV, Amy Landino, I will tag her down below. She's someone that I've been following for a long time. She did a whole video on using Descript, and I immediately knew that I needed to purchase it. I think it's like $50 for the year or something. It might be $100 for the year, but honestly, it is so worth it. Basically, what Descript is, it's an editing software, just like, you know, some people use like iMovie or I forget what some of the other ones are, like Filmora, you know, all those different editing softwares that people use. Is basically what Descript is, but there are different areas of Descript that just take your editing to a whole another level. So basically, you can update or upload your video into Descript, and there's two ways to edit. You have the typical like clip, clip and paste and drag type of editing, or Descript will also take your entire video and transcribe it into a Word document, all of your like spoken word, and you can go in and edit that way. So if you are more of a like written word kind of person, if that works better for you, it's almost like you're editing a document or editing a book. You read your video basically and you edit it that way, which is really cool. Then also they have this area where there's all these extra options, so you can go in and automatically edit out pauses or dead space. You can go ahead and edit out like repetitive words like or which is one that I use all the time because I say in every sentence, so that is a huge one. It also goes in and edits out retakes. It will automatically detect retakes and go in and edit those out. The biggest part that I love about Descript is that it will allow you to create clips and highlights and reels, short form content directly from your long form YouTube video. So there's an option where you will hit highlight reel and it will pull apart clips from your video and turn them vertical so that they work for reels and TikToks and stuff, and it will create a highlight reel of your video, so you can use that on Instagram. It will create separate smaller clips of your video, so you can use that in reels to promote your videos. It will generate a YouTube title for you, a YouTube description. It will give you ideas for social media like posts and static content based on your video. So there you have it. Those are the 5 key areas that I am focusing on, have been focusing on for October, but I'm really focusing on this last week of October before November starts on Friday and before we jump into the Rough Draft Challenge. I hope these have inspired you or given you some ideas of different things that you can focus on, maybe some things that you hadn't thought of before that you want to get done and taken care of this last week of October. If you have any tips or areas or things that you're focusing on, let me know in the comments down below. If there's anything you think that would help me or help others, let us know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, in November, I'm going to be doing vlogs. For the Rough Draft Challenge, I'm going to be vlogging our moving process. So if you want to see all those things, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you watching this. Happy writing, and I will see you guys in the next one.